What's up, guys? Chris over here at Cover 7. Real quickly, just want to say thank you to everyone who's liked, commented, and subscribed. Can't tell you guys how far that goes on a small channel like mine. I feel like I have to say this every single video these days. I don't claim to be a college football expert, analyst, insider, or anything like that. Now, I do love college football. Nebraska happens to be my favorite team. I don't hide that. You can let me know down in the comments how shit they are. But what I try to do on these videos, man, is give the most unbiased opinion as I can. Like I said, if you really want to help the channel out, give this a thumbs up. It's completely free, takes 2 seconds. I truly, truly appreciate that. So if you're new to these type of videos, I like to talk about both teams' rankings, stats, and at the end, I'll give you my best bet. This is a really good game between two teams I've been on all year. I've been really high on both of them. We'll start with USC here. They're actually catching over a touchdown currently. The over-under set to 58.5. Now, they're going on the road here to Eugene. And this number, mind you, real quickly, may change by the time you see this. I'm recording this on a Sunday morning right when the lines come out. So USC, though, 8-2 on the year. The only losses this year was to Illinois way back in the day, it seems like, and then a pretty good Notre Dame team, obviously. Now, they've won 3 straight, and most recently a win over Iowa this weekend, 26-21. I watched that whole entire game. USC looked like they were going to get their ass kicked in this game. They were down at halftime 21-10. Scored 16 points in the second half and then held Iowa scoreless. Now, I got to be honest with you guys. If you guys watch my channel, you know my thoughts on Lincoln Riley. I've been very impressed with his teams on defense this year. This is not the typical Lincoln Riley USC teams where usually I shit on them, where they don't stop anybody, they can't stop a nosebleed. That's really not the case this year with this USC defense. I think it's paying off. That's why they're 8-2. Their defense, like I said, not that Iowa is some elite level offense, but held them, scoreless in the second half. They made some big stops, got that offense going in the second half, and like I said, they put up 16. So that was a huge win. There was a lot on the line there, especially for USC and Iowa as well. So like I said, very impressed there. Let's talk about the offense, where obviously, if you guys know Lincoln Riley, this is what he does. These guys put out elite offenses every single year, along with a really good quarterback. Jaden Mayava, the dude's a stud. He sits 10th in the country in passing yards. He has 18 touchdowns, just 6 picks on the year. He reads defenses incredibly well, gets the ball out quickly. He's a very good quarterback, which will be interesting here because that goes right into the strength of Oregon, which is their secondary. Running back King Miller, man, this guy can run the football. Dude has been putting up great numbers since taking over the starting role a couple months ago due to a couple backs getting hurt for USC. He actually had 19 carries for 83 yards versus Iowa, which is no small task at all. Iowa's got a pretty damn good run defense. The wide receiver room, man, and I keep saying this each and every week. Every time you look at Mekhi Lemon, dude, this kid is going over 100 yards. Versus Iowa, the other day, he had 10 catches, 153 yards, just one touchdown. And so this guy, every single week, dude, he's actually third in the country in receiving yards. Jacoby Lane on the other side of it, he's no scrub either. Tight end Lake McCree, this guy's a very solid tight end as well. And like I said, if you guys watch this USC offense, man, not only can they run the football, they throw it and they spread it out. They're a very balanced team. They're tough to stop. That's why they're 8-2 on the year. As far as the ranks go with USC, man, they rank 6th in the nation in total offense, so pretty good there. They're 13th best in passing offense. They're 30th in rushing offense. They are 10th best in the country with 38.2 points per game. So let's talk about their defense. And I talked about it, touched on it a minute ago. These defensive stats, as far as rankings here, aren't going to just blow you away. But this is so much better than what it's been years past, in my opinion. As far as the ranks go, USC gives up 21.7 points per game. That's better than 30. They sit actually 42nd best in the country in that category. They sit in the top 50 in rushing and passing yards allowed. That's really good for them. They're 44th in total defense. That's pretty goddamn good for USC. Normally, we've seen that number sometimes in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Hell, a couple years ago, I think they were in the hundreds in total defense. Some much more improved defense this season under Lincoln Riley. So with that being said, let's talk about Oregon. They're 9-1, and my guy, Dan Lanning, I don't hide the fact, guys. I'm not like a huge Oregon fan. I'm obviously a Husker fan, as I mentioned, but he's my favorite coach in all of college football. Just love this guy. His only loss back in week 6 was to Indiana, 30-12. They've rattled off 4 straight now. And most recently, they beat Minnesota Friday night, 42-13. Quarterback Dante Moore, man, this guy just doesn't get talked about near enough, in my opinion. I think he's really freaking good. He's got over 2,100 yards, 21 touchdowns, just 5 picks. He's incredibly accurate with a 72.8% completion percentage, so that's really good there. Let's be honest, though, where Oregon makes its name, though, is in the running game. Noah Whittington, and this guy's quietly becoming one of my favorite running backs this year. This guy's a monster. When you watch him run, he runs with a purpose. I love it. He had just 8 carries against Minnesota, but for 72 yards, it's actually 9 yards per carry. Jordan Davison, De'Ara Hill, these guys are solid running backs as well. Oregon has a slew of running backs they can throw at you, and they're all really, really good. Actually, Oregon leads the Big Ten in rushing with 233 yards per game. That's pretty impressive. The wide receiver room, it's honestly about the same as the running back room. They got a ton of guys here. With Jamari Johnson, Malik Benson, the tight end, is it Sadiq? God, he's good too. I'm not sure about Decorium Moore or Gary Bryant, if these guys are going to suit up. Oregon fans can let me know down in the comments. I know they've been out a couple weeks, but these 5-6 guys they got are all really, really good players. Like I said, same with Mayava. Moore can spread the ball around as well. Check out the ranks here, though. They're 11th best in total offense. They're just inside the top 50 in passing yards per game. They're 9th in rushing offense. They're 7th best in the nation in points per game with 39. So very impressive offensively. But get this, these defensive ranks are elite. They're 3rd best in the country in total defense. They're number 1 in passing defense. They're 20th versus the run. They are 6th best in points allowed per game. They only give up 13.7. I just rattled off a bunch of stats there. I mean, obviously both teams are really, really good, like I said. So before I get into my best bet, let me know down in the comments who you guys are taking in this game, if you got a best bet or who you think can win this game. Like I said, I got to pick a winner here. I don't hate, either team. I don't love either team here. But I'm going to roll with Oregon. I'm taking the points. I know that may be a shock here, but why? I don't base all my stuff off of stats either. I'm just putting this out here for context. Oregon has won the last 3 times they've met. More importantly, USC, from my knowledge, hasn't won in Eugene since 2011. Eugene's a tough place to play. It is. There's no doubt about that. I think anybody that has a pulse knows that. But this game is going to be won in the trenches. Like I said, if Oregon can slow down that USC rushing attack, which I do believe they can slow it down, and then make USC throw the ball. Like I said, Mayava's a damn good quarterback, but that's making you one-dimensional in this one. Here's the problem. It fits right into Oregon's strength, which is their secondary. Oregon has proved it can win in low-scoring games, higher-scoring games this year. I'm a firm believer too. They have the edge defensively here. Like I said, they're a physical football team. Dan Lanning kind of brought over an SEC style of play when he came over to Oregon, and it's been working so far in the Big Ten. So I'm going to lay the points here with the Ducks. I'd like to get this at a touchdown. I think this will actually maybe creep down a little bit as the week goes on. So I haven't bet it yet, but I'm definitely taking the Ducks and the points here. So with that being said, guys, I truly, truly appreciate all the support. Go Ducks, and we'll see you next time.